Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at 1851 Southeast 51st Avenue here in Portland. We're located inside the home. We're inside this big crawl space here. There's actually two crawl spaces. We're on the right side crawl space if you're looking at the front of the house from the street. And just inside the door here, we have a 3-inch ABS cleanout. We're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We do have water running, and we may have to do this one in parts and pieces. It's a very awkward access point with the turn here and this water line sitting right over the top of it. There is a secondary cleanout outside under a valve cover box, which needs to get a cap put on it. It's got a valve cover box lid on top of it. The problem is it's a 4-inch wide cleanout. If you open that thing up wrong, the entire front of the house is covered in 3, 4, 5-inch wide rocks. If one of those things goes down your sewer line, you're not cleaning it out of there. You're going to have to dig the sewer line up to remove them. So I recommend just a simple expanding cap or a flange and screw cap be put on top of it so that does not happen. Pretty simple fix, just a $5-10 at the store. No big deal. But if you get a rock down inside your cleanout, all of them out there are so big they would just get stuck in the line. You're looking at thousands of dollars to dig that up. So cheap insurance to make sure something like that doesn't happen. All right, we're making a transition here over to 6-inch 3034. All right, we're making another switch here. That would appear to be clay pipe there, as far as I can tell. We're gonna turn the water off here. We'll drain everything out and then try and scope further from the exterior clean out. My camera's running into a little ledge there and we go through that clay pipe. Alright, I've turned the water off here and I have the line draining out so we can take a good look at this portion of the sewer line. Where we stop right here is right at the street curb. Everything from this point forward is in city responsibility. We're still going to scope it, but in the event that excess grout just up ahead stops the camera, we've scoped everything the homeowner is responsible for. And on another note, more uncapped cleanouts. Out right next to the driveway, you'll see a big green piece of pipe sticking out of the ground with no cap on it. It's been partially broken. That's the sewer cleanout that's just sitting there wide open. So these things need to get caps put on them or you're going to get rocks thrown down them by neighborhood kids. I have seen it a million times. Now we've got minor standing water in this area here. That tube right there tying in the top's the cleanout I was just referring to. Well, the standing water here starts right around 65 feet and extends out to the curb there, so roughly from 65 to 70 feet. At its worst point, you've got just over a quarter inch of standing water. In my opinion, that is extremely minor, even for new construction. What I would do, though, if your home comes with a warranty anyway, is rescope the sewer line just before the warranty runs out to ensure that the line has not settled anymore. Generally, bellying and settling is not progressive. Usually it happens almost instantaneously after the line's been buried. But I have seen lines settle in that first year or so, just because they're so new the ground can still be shifting. And the distance that is out from the home there, you're all the way out by the street edge where that standing water is. In the world of bellies, that is extremely minor. I don't even start considering repairs on bellies until there's at least an inch of water for 5 to 10 feet, but there also has to be buildup associated with it to show me it's actually causing flow problems. And by the way, this 3034 is 4-inch, not 6-inch like I said before. But in smooth plastic pipe like this, you don't have rough pipe walls like you do in cast iron and concrete, where a belly in those materials is a completely different beast to deal with. Because the walls are so rough, they grip the debris and don't let it break loose on its own. If you're clogging and backing up from that belly out there, it is because you're putting things down the line that should not be going down there. Either massive amounts of toilet paper, or more often than not, it's homeowners that put paper towels, flushable wipes, tampons, and stuff like that down their sewer line. That's not a belly there I'm going to recommend any kind of repairs on. But I would recommend rescoping it to make sure that it doesn't worsen. Alright, we're going to reel the camera out here. We're going to move out to the front yard area. Everything from the clean-out access to the street edge all appears to be in good condition, has good flow and is functioning properly at this time. We'll go back out. Once we go back out to the other clean-out, we'll measure that belly in its entirety, but it's only about 3-4 feet long with about 1/4 inch of standing water. But everything's looking good up to the street curb. Alright, we moved outside here, so this clean-out access that's closer to the front doorway is what we're going through. There's another one just to the right here. We have turned the water back on. We've got that running again here. We're going to zero out. Now we have a root block in the line here at about 42 feet. This is going to be in the roadway. I'll get this marked. That should be well into city territory there. I would send the video on to them and make them aware of it. But I'll mark this with a white X. It'll be in the roadway. Alright, I got this marked. It's about 5-6 feet out into the roadway, marked with a white X. It's right at the edge of the patch they cut into the road when they put the line in. We're about 7 feet deep there. You can see we do have a pretty good sized root coming through that. It looks like stuff by and large is getting over the top of it, but could also cause a blockage if you get enough junk collected in there. That one also looks like it has a root coming through it. I'll at least inform the city of it so they're aware. Might be able to get this on a schedule for repair at some point. You may, it's hard, I got a terrible view of it here a second ago. It's possible you may have a root coming through the transition joint here too. I can't get a proper view of it. A second ago my camera hung down in a particular way where it almost appeared that could be going on, but it's hard to say. I can't get a proper view of it. Alright, and from this point here, again, the belly dissipates out at 35 feet. In total here, it's about 5 feet long. It does get up to around, at its deepest point right at the cleanout, you've got around 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of standing water. The tricky part here is we haven't seen the line in action yet. No one's lived in the house putting debris down it. So that's certainly what I would keep an eye on here. And just looking at the cleanout that's out there, as well as the water meter right next to it, the top of the cleanout is broken off. It almost looks like someone drove over the top of it. So I don't know if that affected. It could also be that they're sunk because of someone undermined the soil in or around the water meter there. But it looks like someone drove over it, which concerns me that the pipe's been stressed quite a bit. So anyway, it's kind of a tricky one here. I'd actually like to recommend a repair, seeing that that's what's going on there. The top snapped off like that. All the joints I'm seeing here look like they're intact. In this circumstance, I actually would like to see a repair. I didn't notice that the first time around, the sunken water meter and stuff, but it looks like someone drove a heavy truck right over the top of that area. So from 30 feet to 35 feet, or from 65 to 70 feet, depending on which cleanout you're going from. We do have a belly there. Most of it, again, is around 1/4 to 1/2 inch of standing water. It's not so much the standing water issue, it's the fact that someone drove over it looks like someone damaged it with a vehicle. I'm concerned for the longevity of the sewer line at this point. The standing water is on the more minimal end, but that does concern me that the pipe's been stressed. I've seen a lot of times where people have driven over them and it stress fractures or damage at the joints. At this point, they look like they're intact. So if repairs aren't done, I would highly recommend rescoping the sewer line at just before the warranty runs out, if this house has a warranty, to make sure things haven't gotten worse, joints haven't opened up, things of that nature. I do have this marked here with white paint, right between the 5 and 6 foot deep range. That's all marked with white paint, and the belly here dissipates out right at the street edge. So most of that there you're dealing with is dirt. I don't know if the concrete would have to be messed with there in order to correct that or not. But anyway, I kind of reversed what I was mentioning earlier. I do recommend that be repaired. Again, if repairs aren't done right off the bat, I would highly recommend rescoping just before the warranty runs out, if it has one. Give it a little bit of time to see if anything changes there. But seeing that doesn't just look like it's to just regular old settling, that would appear there that someone backed a vehicle over the top of the cleanout, which is likely what snapped the top of the cleanout off and caused the water meter to sink. Both of them very obviously have dropped there. At this time, without a bunch of buildup in the sewer line in that area, if it will ever happen. Again, it's a lot of bellies only act up on you if you're putting a lot of stuff down the line that shouldn't be going down there, or way too much toilet paper down the line at once. Anyway, aside from that area there, the rest of the line appears to be in good condition. has good flow and is functioning properly at this time. And again, I recommend getting cleanouts on all these things. So this one's got that green cap on top of it, but the pipe is wide open when you pop the lid off of there, so if there's any rocks sitting around that lid when you pop it loose, they can fall right into that hole. This one over here also has a open top, and the one near the street edge is broken, has no clean out on it either. I recommend the spot repair to fix the belly, and that all these clean outs out here get caps and flanges put on them. And I highly recommend re-scoping after any repair work is done to it. Ensure that it was done correctly and you don't have a belly in the same location you already did. That does happen from time to time. The line is functioning at this time. It's draining a little slower than it should due to the standing water in the line, but it is functioning.